Overnight, my fiancé's first love turned out to be my parents' biological daughter. I became an adopted daughter, who'd been taking advantage of their love. Everyone was watching me, waiting for my fall. But I stayed calm and married his rich and handsome adoptive father, starting my revenge. The jerk and the bitch cried to my husband, seeking justice. My husband, I'm not here to reason. I'm here to back my wife. When the biological daughter returned, the parents, who had raised me for 18 years, wanted to cut ties with me. My dad shoved a card into my hand. There's 50,000 on this card. From now on, you have nothing to do with us. Selena, with her head down, shedding tears. I've never had enough to eat or wear since I was little. Anything good always went to my brother and sister first. This made my dad freeze mid-motion while handing me the card. My fiancé, the young master of Starshine Group, Jack, jumped in to defend, Uncle. She's an imposter. She took Selena's place and made Selena suffer so much. How can you give her money? 50,000 is a lot. I laughed. Are you okay? If there's something wrong with your brain, go to the hospital. I took Selena's place. Selena got lost when she was little. Even after searching thoroughly for over half a year, she couldn't be found. My mom got sick from missing her so much, and my dad had no choice but to adopt me from an orphanage. With my company, my mom gradually got over the pain of losing her daughter. I always knew I wasn't their biological child from a young age. Yes, I am an adopted daughter and a stand-in for Selena, but I'm not a pushover. I've fulfilled the filial duties Selena couldn't. Shouldn't she thank me? I laughed coldly, ready to strike back. Jack, you've hidden well, but after 2 years of engagement, I didn't know you still had feelings for your first love. Jack was so mad his face turned bright red. He's twisting the facts, just to vent his anger on me for his beloved Selena. Selena was my college roommate. With her innocent look, she always opposed me and even urged other roommates to isolate me. Back then, I didn't understand why she hated me so much, until Jack stopped me at the school gate, publicly humiliating me for being evil and uncultured, bullying my roommate. That's when I finally got it. These two scumbags were together all along. Even though Jack was the only young master of Starshine Group, he was an adopted son. I'm an adopted daughter, he's an adopted son. Our statuses match perfectly. Marrying into Jack's family brings him benefits. This scumbag couldn't let go of the advantages our engagement brought, nor could he let go of his first love, Selena. Torn and conflicted, when he found out Selena was the biological daughter, Jack had no more reservations. He didn't miss a chance to kick me when I was down, mocking me at every turn. I rented a cheap place near the school. My dad had adopted me from an orphanage. I had no home to return to, and dorm life with Selena was unbearable. Despite being kicked out of the house, I'd saved up some money over the years, just enough to get by. Transitioning from a wealthy heiress to an average girl, I adapted well. I even found a part-time job at a 5-star hotel. I didn't expect to run into Selena and Jack's engagement party. Selena, in an expensive princess dress, looked every bit the wealthy heiress. Gliding around the room, holding Jack's hand, she looked like a fluttering butterfly. Then she saw me in my waiter uniform. Seeing your enemy fills you with rage. Thinking she'd already won, Selena bossed me around, commanding me like a servant. I stayed calm and guarded, matching her move for move. When pouring her wine, she deliberately knocked over the glass, spilling red wine on her white high heels. With a sour tone, Selena said, "What are you doing? Clean this up." Without expression, I glanced at her, picked up a napkin, and slowly bent down. Just as my fingers were about to touch the shoe, Selena suddenly lifted her foot, stomping on my hand with her heel, grinding it into my skin. My pale hand turned a painful purple. It was just too much to bear. Furious, I yanked her ankle, pulling hard. Unprepared for my retaliation, Selena fell heavily. She looked at me in disarray, then covered her face and cried, "Why can't you leave me alone? Why ruin my engagement party?" Jack rushed to help Selena, holding her protectively, and kicked me. Unable to dodge, I fell, my knee hitting broken glass, blood streaming, the pain searing. Enraged, he yelled at me, "Jane, know your place. You're no longer part of the high society. We have no ties. I'm now Selena's fiancé, and you dare touch her publicly." Guests surrounded, keen to watch the drama unfold. They whispered and gossiped. The adopted daughter bullying the biological one. Doesn't she know her place? An imposter is an imposter, never part of the family. Raised her for so long, and still no gratitude. But Jack was her fiancé before. Losing her fiancé to a biological daughter must be driving her mad. Gossip flooded over me like a torrent, almost drowning me. And the parents I served for 18 years, just standing far off, arms crossed, watching me like a stranger. I indifferently withdrew my gaze. Suddenly, there was a commotion in the crowd. and everyone looked towards the door. When I turned around, I locked eyes with a pair of deep, cold eyes. A man in a sharply tailored suit strode in. His facial features were sharp and clear, with a high nose bridge and a cold aura. It was Jack's adoptive father, Leo, the legendary man who built the Starlight business empire. I never called Leo uncle. The first time, I was brought to Jack's house as a guest. I was 16 and Leo was 31. Facing that sharply defined and overly young face, I couldn't get the word uncle out of my mouth. Impulsively, I blurted out, "Leo, I'm Jane." My parents frantically scolded me for being disrespectful, but Leo said, "It's okay. Let the young lady call me whatever she wants." Then he extended his right hand to me, eyes twinkling with amusement. "Hello, Jane." He always indulged me. When the marriage with Jack was arranged, it was my suggestion. My parents always wanted to establish a connection with Jack's family, and Jack also wanted a family with a solid background. My proposal was like a pillow offered to a sleepy person. Both sides, harboring ulterior motives, agreed in a heartbeat. In the face of great benefits, love isn't that important. Leo learned about the news while abroad and rushed back, wanting to meet me. But when he saw me, he said nothing. After a long silence, he suddenly asked, "Do you like Jack?" I stuttered, not knowing how to respond. I didn't particularly like or dislike Jack. I just wanted to be closer to Leo, but I didn't dare to say that. Seeing me with my head down, Leo rubbed his tired eyebrows and said, "I see." After that, Jack became my fiancé. Leo's appearance instantly became the focus of the room. Jack's adoptive parents, unable to contain their excitement, held Selena's hand and approached him warmly. "Leo, you're here." Jack was both surprised and a bit joyous. "Dad, are you here for my engagement party? I thought you were too busy to make it." When Jack and I had our engagement party, Leo was far away in the US and didn't attend. He only sent me a stock as an engagement gift. There were rumors at that time. They said Leo didn't value his adopted son or the marriage alliance. No one expected him to grace us with his presence this time. Everyone was overjoyed. Leo, however, walked straight to me and knelt on one knee. Looking at my knee, which was a bloody mess, his dark eyes filled with sudden anger. "Jack, kneel." Leo didn't even glance at him, and asked me with a blank expression, "Is this the kind of fiancé you chose for yourself?" The implicit concern in his words almost brought me to tears. My eyes reddened as I suppressed my emotions and replied in a light-hearted manner, "I was young back then. If you let me choose now, I wouldn't make a wrong choice." "Is that so?" His tone was cold, betraying no emotion. "Yeah." I looked up and smiled at him. "I choose you." Leo was stunned, looking at me. The crowd exploded with chatter, all discussing what had just happened. Jack, kneeling on the ground, turned red with fury, veins popping. Selena dropped the pretense of being pitiful and hurled insults at me, because she knew very well, if I really got close to Leo, her days would not be good. "Jane, you're so shameless. You're pathetic and disgraceful. Jack doesn't want you, so you go after his dad. Do you want to get into Jack's family that badly? I'm telling you, as long as I'm around, you'll never become the lady of the house. Not just anyone can get into Jack's family." Leo's face darkened abruptly. His voice was like ice. "Since when does an outsider get to dictate Jack's family matters?" The obscene language stopped abruptly. Jack's adoptive parents, seeing the situation turn sour, hurried to make amends. "Sorry, Leo. She's just a child. Please forgive her." Leo's tone was icy, giving no room for compromise. "She owes someone else an apology, not me." Selena, both angry and helpless, reluctantly said, "I'm sorry." I smirked. "Who said I want to be the lady of Jack's house?" Then I grabbed Leo's tie and pulled him closer. Leo was taken aback. I faced the crowd and smiled slightly. "I want to be your wife." Leo didn't take me back to Jack's house, but to a villa in the eastern suburbs. The family doctor was already waiting at the villa. Cutting open my pants, he first examined the wound and then opened the medical box to clean it. The hydrogen peroxide stung so much. I was trembling from the pain. Leo held my hand tightly, silently comforting me. After the wound was bandaged, I exhaled in relief. Looking up at Leo, I found his lips pale, his face even whiter than mine. Seeing me staring at him intently, he looked slightly uncomfortable, lowered his gaze, let go of my hand, and turned his eyes away. "From now on, you'll stay here. This villa is my private property. The butler and the maids have all been with Jack's family for many years." I frowned and interrupted him. "Leo, are you keeping me?" Leo looked at me helplessly, as if not knowing what to do with me. "Don't talk nonsense." I spoke recklessly. "Then let's get married." Leo closed his eyes, his voice weary. "Jane, don't joke around." "I'm not joking. I'm 15 years older than you. So what? You'll regret it in the future. You're not me. How can you say I'll regret it? If this is about Jack, I couldn't listen anymore. I kissed him. Leo froze, motionless, angry and anxious. I provoked him. Leo, are you even a man? A dangerous glint flashed in his eyes. Jane, I gave you a chance. Now there's no turning back. I didn't retreat. Leo did. I was stunned, staring at him in disbelief. Leo, noticing my shocked expression, tried to stay calm. We're getting the marriage certificate tomorrow. I have to say, this guy is ruthless to himself too. The next day, we went to the Civil Affairs Bureau and got our certificate. Leo even took a photo of our marriage license and immaturely posted it on Twitter. In 1 minute, there were dozens of comments. It shows just how shocked and gossip-hungry everyone was. Jack saw the tweet too and rushed over, but Leo refused to see him, didn't even let him in. On Monday morning, I was still half asleep when my old nemesis Rachel forwarded me a post with a question mark. I opened it and saw the title, "Former socialite goddess falls from grace, now kept by an old man." The article said I was a foster daughter who took over someone else's nest, moved out, and did everything to get back into high society, even finding an old man to be my sugar daddy. To make it seem real, they included several photos. All of them were of Leo and me, looking intimate, like a couple. But Leo's face was cleverly hidden in each one. The comments went wild. Damn, for real, Jane was my goddess. I can't accept this. Above, she's not a rich girl anymore. She's just Jane now. Selena is the real rich girl. I always thought Selena was prettier than Jane anyway. But seriously, the old dude's back looks pretty handsome. Even so, she shouldn't be kept. This is embarrassing for our school. Seeing these absurd rumors, my first reaction wasn't anger. Instead, I couldn't help but wonder what Leo's face would look like if he knew he was called an old man. I replied to Rachel, "He's my husband." Rachel replied instantly, "Okay." I smiled knowingly. I didn't have any friends at school. Those so-called friends all flocked to Selena after I was kicked out. Rachel wasn't a friend, she was my academic rival. We were in the same class in high school, and ended up going to the same university. After all these years, there was some mutual respect. I quickly got up, washed, and refused Leo's offer to drive me, heading back to school alone. Along the way, people pointed and whispered. When I walked into the classroom, I happened to hear Selena pretending to be nice. "Hey, don't say those things about Jane. Maybe she has her reasons." A group of sycophants immediately started their flattery. Sycophant A, "What reasons? She's used to the high life and can't stand living like us regular folks. Just looking for a big shot to cling to." Sycophant B, "Selena, you're so nice. She occupied your place for so many years, yet you still speak for her." I couldn't take it and walked into the classroom. The discussion stopped. Selena saw me, her eyes flickered, and she pretended to be pitiful. "Jane, Mom and Dad miss you. When will you go see them? They raised you for so many years. They didn't do anything wrong." As soon as she said that, the crowd exploded with criticism, saying I was ungrateful, stepping on the birth daughter, not appreciative. I smirked, looked at Selena, and said, "There's a path to heaven, but you don't take it. There's no door to hell, but you barged in." Selena flinched and acted even more pitiful. "Selena, you just reunited with your parents and convinced them to kick me out." "Fine. I was just a foster daughter, but now you're acting all sisterly and close. Don't you find it laughable?" I took out my phone, opened the forum, and shoved it in her face. "You posted this, didn't you? Being kept by an old man. Such absurd rumors. With your character, you're not fit to enter Jack's household." Selena broke down. Jack's family is the type every notable family in a city wants to connect with. Already a sure win, and now slipping. Fueled by rage, Selena shouted, "Who do you think you are? What right do you have to decide Jack's matters? You're just Leo's plaything." Saying I made up rumors. What a joke. Did the post say anything wrong? Didn't Jack tell you? I smiled slightly. Leo and I got our certificate. I'm now the lady of Jack's family. Do I have the right to decide on my son's marriage? Selena crumpled to the floor. After class, to my surprise, Leo was waiting under the teaching building, standing tall, appearing composed and noble. I rushed to him gladly, hugging him like a fledgling. "What brings you here?" He caught me steadily. "Your knee injury hasn't healed. I was worried and came to pick you up." Our classmates also saw this scene, and chaos broke out. "This guy is so handsome. Wait, he's Leo. Been on finance magazines multiple times. Leo. That back is the man from the forum. Damn, this is the old man they talked about. I want one too. Did you hear him? Knee injury. Oh my god. Is it what I'm thinking?" Ultimately, the forum rumors fell apart. Instead, our marriage post hit the trending topics. But that's another story. Leo took me on a date to the movies. He specially chose a romance film to accommodate me, but I was getting sleepy. My head started nodding down like a pecking chick. A hand reached out to catch me. He gently placed my head on his shoulder. I drowsily opened my eyes. Leo smiled at me softly, his voice warm and low. Sleep. I closed my eyes and slept soundly. When I woke up, I was already in the passenger seat. Leo was focused on driving, his hands on the wheel, long and fair, with distinct joints. I stared dumbly. Involuntarily, I said, "Leo, you have beautiful hands." Leo visibly blushed and awkwardly changed the topic. "Traffic's a bit heavy, we'll be home soon." An old man actually blushing. Adorable. I felt a bit mischievous and couldn't help teasing him. "Honey, do you have abs? Show me when we get home." Leo was almost steaming with embarrassment. "Cut it out. So stingy." "Fine, I'll show you mine." Soon, we were back home. Jack, the unexpected guest, was already waiting in the living room. Seeing us holding hands, he started causing trouble right in front of me. "Dad, don't be fooled by Jane. She's just a gold digger. She doesn't really love you." I sneered. "You don't even compare to one of Leo's fingers. If I don't love him, why would I love you? Are you worthy?" Jack was furious. "You just want to use my dad to get back at me and Selena. You're mad at her for taking your spot as a rich heiress, and you hate me for leaving you." "Enough." Leo's icy tone cut him off. Jack didn't give up. "Dad." Leo's stern gaze shot at him. "Jack, know your place." That was harsh, especially for an adopted son. Jack's face turned pale instantly. It's his sore spot. The fact that he's not Leo's biological son, though he's known as the young lord of Starlight Group. It's actually just a title, not fully acknowledged, criticized within the circle. Seeing Jack so upset made me feel overjoyed. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Having someone to support you feels amazing. After being happy for a while, I realized, where's Leo? Why hasn't he come to the bedroom to sleep? I searched around, finally gently pushing open the study door. The room was dark. Leo was sitting behind the desk, looking lonely. I felt a twinge of pain seeing him like that, wanting to turn on the light. His low voice stopped me. "Jane, don't turn on the light." I hobbled over, but he walked over in large strides, picked me up, and placed me on the sofa. In the dark room, I couldn't see his expression, but I could keenly sense his mood. He was upset. I softly asked, "Are you unhappy?" He didn't say anything, just held my hand, interlocking our fingers. I thought for a bit, quickly realizing the problem. "Is it because of what Jack said?" "No problem." I was startled. "Not loving is fine." Leo's voice was hoarse, tinged with pain. "Even if you're using me, it's okay." The love and humility in those words hit me hard. I couldn't help reflecting on my actions in recent days. Every little thing could easily lead to misunderstanding, making me seem like a jerk. I stood up, cupped his face, earnestly confessed, "I love you." Leo looked at me, stunned. I repeated, "I love you, Leo." I never loved Jack. The engagement with him was purely a business arrangement, because it was necessary. I was abandoned by my parents at birth and raised in an orphanage. I've spent my whole life trying to please others. If anyone should feel inferior, it's me, not you, Leo. The one I've loved from the start has always been you. With my words, Leo's dark eyes gradually lit up, eventually seeming like a flame ignited. He patted my head gently. "Jane, you don't need to please anyone. You're a unique treasure in this world." That night, I slept very restlessly, feeling like I was in the midst of a volcano. Waking up in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, feeling extremely uncomfortable. Leo was by my side. Hearing me stir, he immediately reached over, feeling my forehead. "Good, the fever's finally gone." I tearily looked at him. "Leo, I want to take a bath." He paused. "I'll call Myra to help you." "No." I quickly grabbed him, then petulantly pushed him away. "You go out. I can handle it myself." I got out of bed. Unfortunately, I was too weak, almost collapsing as soon as my feet touched the ground. Leo scooped me up, carried me to the bathroom, and settled me onto a chair. He filled the tub with comfortably warm water, then turned back to look at me, carefully reminding me not to get my wounds wet. The bathroom floor was slippery, and I lost my balance, falling. Leo's quick reflexes caught me, and we both tumbled into the tub, splashing water everywhere. I felt utterly disoriented from the fall. Finally stabilizing myself, I locked eyes with Leo's fiery gaze. When I woke up again, my whole body felt like it had been through a wringer. I truly understood the saying, suffering from one's own actions. Leo had taken the day off for me, deciding to stay home and take care of me. For the next few months, Selena and Jack kept a low profile, not coming near me. Leo was very busy every day, but no matter how busy, he'd personally drive me to and from school, and even upgraded the home security system. I teased him about his paranoia. He would smile, watching me act up. Sometimes, I'd feel discontent. "Leo, Do you want a divorce or what? What job could be more important than your wife? Just as he was about to reply, the butler brought in an invitation. A banquet was to be held in a few days, and we were invited. Leo pondered for a moment. Jane, weren't you curious about what I've been busy with lately? Actually, I've been searching for your biological parents. There might be issues, but I haven't found enough evidence yet. I was stunned, never thinking that my adoption might have hidden truths. I always thought I was abandoned. My expression turned firm, looking at Leo. Then let's draw the snake out of its hole. Let's see what skeletons are hiding in the closet. The day of the banquet arrived quickly. I was in a red velvet evening dress, and Leo helped me out of the car. He placed my hand on his arm, looked at me sideways, and whispered, "Stay close to me tonight. Don't leave my sight." I nodded, reassuring him. Leo was like a spotlight. The moment he appeared, everyone noticed. My adoptive parents came over, smiling and greeting us. "Mr. Leo, Mrs. Leo, welcome." Leo nodded coldly. Jack, holding Selena's hand, came over and offered Leo a glass of red wine. "Dad, a toast to you." Leo, showing some respect, drank it. Jack then glanced at me, struggling to speak. "Mom, a toast to you too." I smiled. Just as I was about to humiliate him, Leo pulled me away quickly. Away from the crowd, he hugged me tightly and said in a muffled voice, "Don't talk to him." This man was really a cute bundle of jealousy. All night, I stayed close to Leo, playing the role of Mrs. Leo perfectly. Just when I started feeling a bit bored, a little girl ran over with a cake. I immediately sensed something was wrong. The next second, she tripped, and the cake landed right on my dress. The commotion caught Selena's attention. She walked over, trying to take my hand. "Jane, there are more clothes upstairs. Go change." I shook her off and stepped back. She awkwardly asked, "Are you still mad at me?" Leo put his arm around my waist. "No need, Selena. I'll accompany my wife to change." How bold of her. As soon as we entered the bedroom, the door was locked from the outside. It couldn't be opened. Leo and I exchanged glances, a sense of foreboding rising within us. Soon, we heard screams from downstairs, guests running everywhere, shouting about a fire. No one realized we were locked upstairs. We had to save ourselves. Flames from downstairs quickly spread to the second floor. The bedroom window was locked, phone signals blocked. We couldn't call for help. There was no way out. They wanted to burn us alive and make it look like an accident. Leo tried to break the window with brute force, but suddenly felt weak all over and almost fell. He quickly realized something was in that wine Jack gave me. I was terrified, not of dying, but of getting Leo in trouble. I hugged him, crying uncontrollably. "I'm sorry, Leo. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault." Leo held me close, breathing heavily. "Don't think that way. We'll be okay." Suddenly, we heard Selena's voice outside. "Leo, I can give you a chance to live. Kill Jane now, and I'll spare you." Leo's face darkened, a fierce light in his eyes. My adoptive mother, enraged, scolded, "How could I have raised such an idiot? Don't you know you need to leave no loose ends?" Selena retorted, "You think killing Leo will save us? Better I marry him. As long as Leo kills Jane, we have leverage over him." Jack broke down. "Selena, I betrayed my dad for you, and you want to abandon me to marry him. What do you mean for me? It's for yourself, for the Jack family fortune." The three of them continued arguing just outside the door. My adoptive mother cursed, "Selena, don't be crazy. Do you think you can control a man like Leo?" Selena shot back, "I'm doing this for our family. Look who's crazier. You people targeted Jane. When her real parents came looking, afraid they'd take her, you killed them. After adopting me, you threw her away like trash. You call yourselves parents." The sound of a slap silenced the quarrel. My adoptive father roared, "Shut up. It's no time to argue." From their arguing, I finally understood everything. My real parents didn't abandon me. They were looking for me. They even found me. I remembered the couple I met in kindergarten when I was 5. Their eyes reddened when they saw me, extremely emotional. The woman hugged me tightly. She smelled good and felt warm, but she was crying so hard, almost fainting. Back then, I was too young to understand, scared by these strange adults. My adoptive mother saw them, took me away hysterically. "This is my daughter, mine. I've already lost a daughter. No one can take this one." She then had the driver and bodyguards chase them away. I never saw that couple again. Thinking back now, they must have been my real parents. This crazy woman, so afraid I'd be taken away, killed my real parents. My parents died because of me. Now Leo might die because of me. I was heartbroken, my mind a mess. I didn't notice a burning beam falling. Leo shoved me out of the way, taking the hit himself. I was in shock, rushing to hold him, crying my heart out. "Leo, don't die. Please, don't leave me." Leo weakly raised his hand to wipe my tears, smiling through the flames. don't be afraid. I won't let anything happen to you. Police and fire truck sirens drew closer and parked outside. Firefighters quickly broke in and rescued us just in time. We were finally saved. Leo had second-degree burns, his leg broken by the beam. Thanks to him, I was mostly unharmed. My adoptive family and Jack were all arrested, awaiting trial. I stayed by Leo's side every day, taking care of him. He didn't want me to, but I'd start crying. Leo had no choice but to let me fuss over him. In the middle of the night, I lay beside him, gently tracing his eyebrows and eyes. He caught my fingers. Why aren't you asleep yet? I blinked. I was wondering, do you really like me? It feels so unreal. Leo looked at me with tender eyes. The day I found out you were getting engaged to Jack, I had a dream. I dreamed you would be my wife in the future. I woke up and rushed back home overnight to stop it. Then why didn't you? I wanted to, but I thought the one you loved was Jack. I pouted. Dummy. After a pause, I brought up another question. People say Jack is your illegitimate son. How ridiculous. Leo laughed helplessly. Jack is my sister's adopted child. After she passed away unexpectedly, the responsibility of raising him fell on me. His smile slowly faded. I might not be a good father. I ended up raising him like this. It's not your fault that Jack has a bad character. You'll be the best dad in the world in the future. The whispers in the hospital room gradually quieted down. A few months later, everything settled. My adoptive parents admitted to killing my biological parents and disclosed where they buried them. They were sentenced to death. Selena and Jack, charged with attempted murder, were sentenced to 10 years in prison. The cards completely fell. On the day of the verdict, Leo took me to the cemetery to pay respects to my biological parents. Looking at the photos on the tombstone, the man was handsome, the woman gentle, both with kind smiles in their eyes. The faces of the couple, blurred in my memory, gradually overlapped with those in the photos and became clear again. My nose tingled. Like fallen leaves returning to their roots, I finally found my way home. Leo, calm-faced, held my hand and vowed at the grave. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, please rest assured, I will always stand by Jane. I looked at Leo, then at the photos on the tombstone, and couldn't help but break into a bright smile. When love and being loved happen simultaneously, I finally found my own happiness.